which is essentially it's like Yahoo for high school kids. So if you get a chance, you can certainly look at it. We have sections on entertainment, styles and trends, homeroom. There's a whole section on college planning, looking at different colleges, options. There's money and careers. There's a section on life. I want to cancel that. And then section on life, sports, and cars. Oops. So now go back to. All right. So what we want to talk about today is we were asked to talk about a little bit about cyberbullying and bullying in general. So I just want to walk through some terms real quick and see if everyone's familiar with these. So you're familiar with the term flaming? No? So that's flaming is to send something angry, rude, obnoxious to somebody. That's to flame somebody. Harassment? That's just sending repeated stuff to somebody over and over again. This is all forms of bullying and cyberbullying. Stalking? Yes, I'm sorry.
How would you use flaming in this sentence?
Flaming, to flame somebody is to send something very angry or rude to them. So, you know, I hate you, I never liked you, something like that.
Oh, like you just got burned.
You get burned, yeah. So you're burning them, yeah, you're flaming them. That's it. Harassment is just sending repeated messages to somebody, and you're certainly familiar with that. Stalking is harassment with threats. So, a little, next level up, something you don't want to be accused of and certainly don't want to be participating in. Denigration, probably the easier way to do it is put downs. So when you're putting somebody down, again, how they look, how they dress, how they act, something like that. Masquerade. Masquerades, you hear more about this masquerade. That's when you pretend to be somebody else and make up stories about somebody. So you're seeing a lot more of this. This even happens to celebrities, as you're probably aware. You're seeing these kind of things go on where they pretend to be somebody and they're not. Outing. Outing is when you're talking about something about somebody that they don't want known. So, Becky and Billy are no longer dating or whatever it is. You're telling people something that they don't want known. So that's outing. And exclusion is just excluding somebody from a different group. So when we talk about bullying, though, and rather than take a show of hands, I would tell you the statistics. More than 50% of people have been bullied. Okay, so more than 50%. Women more so than men. So I know this school is more predominantly women than guys, and so you're seeing a lot of it today in both actual bullying in person and then online. So if we go down just a little bit. Last week we posted an article. We said these are things you should never do on social media. So one is post illegal activities. That's number one. And sure enough, right after we posted this, a kid here in Queens, he drove on New Year's Eve. He got arrested the next day. So it was not really a smart thing to do. But remember when you're posting illegal activities, smoking, drinking, you're all underage. So if you were to post something like that, and you put it on your Facebook account, people are going to see that. Teachers see that. Parents see that. Colleges, if you want to go to college, employers see that. So, we're going to talk a little bit more about people that have done that and really screwed up their lives because of stuff that they've posted online. So you want to be careful about these things. Obviously, bullying, we're going to talk a lot more about you shouldn't bully online. You should not trash your teachers online. That will come back to haunt you. And they do find out about that stuff, and you can get in serious trouble with your school from that. Post objectionable content from school computers. Again, obviously, your school has policies on this stuff. Confidential information. You should not lie, cheat, or plagiarize. Obviously, threaten violence. I mean, any of these things are going to get you in some serious trouble. So if we scroll down a little bit further, we look at just how much bullying is going on. And if we can click on that link. Right. So we talk about, and this is all available online too if you're interested, but when we talk about a lot of people, 30% have been cyberbullied on Facebook. And that's probably the most common example you'll see is being bullied online. A lot of kids have, and this is right back to our terms, posted something online they'd never say to someone's face. So anybody in here ever posted something online you wouldn't say to somebody's face? Posted something untrue about somebody. Had something untrue posted about you. And then shared something bad that somebody posted. So this is all stuff that, examples of bullying that you see. So I'm going to walk you through just a real quick true false. So victims of cyberbullying are at increased risk for traditional bullying, substance abuse, and school problems. True or false? It's true, yes, absolutely. A school is protected from legal liability and not required to intervene in cyberbullying that occur away from campus. False. That's good. You're right. Correct. That's false. They are absolutely responsible for that. Most victims of cyberbullying tell an adult parent or teacher. False. You guys actually know this stuff very well. Unfortunately, that's correct. Most people never tell anybody, and that's a mistake. You should absolutely tell somebody. Certainly get your friends involved, get a teacher involved, a guidance counselor, somebody you should ask for help in that situation. Research has shown victims of cyberbullying suffer from anger, frustration, and sadness. True or false? True. That is true. Unfortunately, a lot of physical effects, even though it's online cyberbullying. Victims reports that they're primarily bullied by strangers. False. Correct. Most of the time, it's somebody you know. So that's the again, it's not strangers that are doing this; it's people that you know. Boys, I already told you this, so boys are more likely to be victims than girls. That's false. Girls are actually more likely to be victims. And here's the last one. Research has shown blocking and filtering software decreases your likelihood of cyberbullying. False. You guys are outstanding on this. I think I'm done here. You're very good. You're absolutely right. It does not really prevent it. So it's a false sense of security to try to do that. So having done that, we're going to walk through, if we go back to our main one, I just want to give you just some tips and tech. So right here we go to tips for preventing cyberbullying. And then right at the end we're going to walk through an example of a young girl. She was 16 at the time, and her ex-boyfriend posted sexually explicit pictures of her. And so she was harassed, cyber-stalked, all this stuff. She now is, she's actually fought back, and now she's doing the TV show, My Life is a Lifetime movie. There's a program about that. Well, she's actually going out there and talking to people about it. She's in her 20s now. But it's a really interesting story about something that happened to somebody, again, not of her own doing, but an ex-boyfriend really did something that they are now trying to prevent. So if we go through preventing cyberbullying, so one is to educate yourself. You guys have a pretty good handle as to what cyberbullying and bullying is in general, so you're in good shape there. Protect your password. So this is not only on your cell phone, right, but your computers and everything else that you access. If you give somebody your password, they can post anything about you as though it was you. Keep photos PG. I know, again, as an old person, you look at, but again, you would not post something or take a picture of something that you would not want to show your parents. When we were kids, they always said that. When we first started working, they always said, unless you want that picture on the front of the Daily News, then you should not take that picture. You should not do that thing. So that's another one. Keep scrolling down. So never open unintended, unidentified, or unsolicited messages. So this is where you get spam, and you're getting a lot of stuff come in there. What will happen is you'll get the malware, so you'll get somebody be able to basically take over your computer. So, and then they can do all kinds of things to it. Make sure you log out of online accounts when you're done with those. Go back up to the side. So that's pause before you post. So again, everyone posts occasionally in anger or frustration, but that's something you should probably hesitate before doing. I always say, give yourself a couple minutes, reread it, or have somebody else read it before you post something. Raise awareness. You guys are very well aware. Privacy controls. Again, don't trust those Facebook privacy controls, because I've seen guys show me that they can get into anybody's Facebook account. So they immediately went on to mine. I have all my privacy settings set, and a guy went in right in and showed everything. He goes, "Here's your birthday. Here's your." He went right through it. So that anybody that's these hackers can get through any of that stuff. So don't trust the privacy controls in Facebook. Google yourself. So anybody, how many people Google themselves? Oh, that's good. If you have not, you should do that. Because you'll find out stuff about yourself. And that's where you'll find out if somebody's posting stuff about you or not. So you should absolutely Google yourself. As you're looking towards college, or as you go to school, you're looking for jobs, you should absolutely Google yourself, because your employer or your school is going to Google you. And so that's when you're going to find out what is out there about you. So you should absolutely be looking at doing that. All right, if we can go back up, go back to this. And we're going to just go to responding to cyberbullying real quick. And then, So how to respond to, so if you're currently being cyberbullied, so one, as we talked about, you should absolutely get help. So talk to somebody, find out from a teacher what resources you have available to you. So talk to somebody. You can certainly ignore them. I'm a parent of, I have 3 kids in college right now. I had 3 kids in high school. So when Jack currently has 2 kids in high school. So this is why we went up this high school though, because we were a lot of actually involved in high school. So we always tell them, ignore them, right? So the best thing you can do to somebody is to ignore them because that frustrates them. But when that doesn't work, do not retaliate because that just escalates. It makes things worse for you and for them. Obviously, you want to tell them to stop. You can certainly try to laugh it off. Number 6, clearly save the evidence. So again, if it becomes a situation where you want to be able to prove something, you should always save evidence of any of these type of actions. You can certainly block access to cyberbullies, which you're probably aware you can in your spam settings and things like that. And in your phone, you can set who you can get messages from, so you can just block people that you don't know. So certainly what I would do is on any of my, if you have a smartphone, is just set it so that it won't accept calls or texts from somebody that's not in your phone book, right? So that way somebody that you don't know can't get at to you. Report it to the content provider. So again, whatever service you're using, you would let them know. Never pass along messages. And lastly would be to call the police. So that's kind of some steps to take. But if we can go to Allison. Okay, here's the young woman, Allison. That's that down. Okay. So Lifetime is the show. My Life is a Lifetime movie. And her name is Allison Pereira. And she's from New Jersey. And when she was 16 years old, that's when she had these pictures put out by her ex-boyfriend. And for years, she faced harassment from people in the town. People were incredibly mean to this poor woman. And so eventually she decided to take action. So she finally started fighting back, got it taken down. And then now, but she's been on The View, she's been on Good Morning America, Dr. Drew, and she's got a movie out about her. So here's somebody who turned a real negative into something very positive. So hopefully it never gets to like that for you, but certainly there's ways to combat it. I'm going to start bullying for 1 second. One of the things that on our site, as you'll see with most sites, go back up, yeah, is that once you click on an article, and you can see that we did an article for the school for today, there'll be other articles here. So here's one, for example, beware college-bound seniors. College admissions officers are looking at Facebook more than ever. So they absolutely do that. They tell us that. So they are looking at your Facebook account. So now would be the time to start cleaning that up. So, you know, whatever you've got on, if you've got stuff, pictures or things that you've texted, things like that, you probably want to take that down because that certainly could affect your ability to get into a school or to get a particular job. So I was just trying to run through real quick. I want to give Jack some time. So what Jack wants to do is talk a little bit more about how to proactively use social media. So I've talked about a lot of the negatives. You know, this is things you shouldn't do, things you should avoid. But what we want to talk about was a little bit how to proactively use it to help you so that you can try to get the good job or get into the school that you want to. So, right on college and all.
Okay, great. Thanks, Pat. Thanks.